Love beyond time. Sophia, a graceful woman of 50, had always believed life's grandest chapters were written in youth. A successful businesswoman, she was well-traveled, cultured, and admired for her wisdom. Yet, there was a quiet loneliness she carried with her, buried beneath her composed exterior. One crisp autumn evening, Sophia boarded a train from Florence to Venice, hoping to find solace in the city's timeless beauty. The train compartment was cozy, filled with the soft hum of conversations and the rhythmic clatter of wheels against the tracks. As she settled into her seat by the window, her eyes wandered, and that's when she noticed him. He was seated across from her, a young man, perhaps 25, with messy brown hair and piercing green eyes that seemed to hold a world of dreams. He had a sketchbook on his lap and was deeply engrossed in drawing. Sophia couldn't help but admire his intensity. Their eyes met briefly, and he smiled, a warm, disarming smile that caught her off guard. "Beautiful view, isn't it?" he asked, his voice carrying a boyish charm. Sophia nodded, unsure why her heart skipped a beat. "It is. The Italian countryside never fails to amaze me." "I'm Luca," he said, extending a hand. "Sophia," she replied, shaking it, her palm tingling from the contact. What began as small talk soon evolved into a deeper conversation. Luca was an artist traveling to Venice for inspiration. He spoke passionately about his dreams, his struggles, and his love for capturing fleeting moments on canvas. Sophia found herself drawn to his energy, his zest for life, a stark contrast to her measured, composed demeanor. The hours melted away as they shared stories, laughter, and even silence that felt strangely comfortable. By the time the train pulled into Venice, they were no longer strangers. Over the next few days, their paths crossed repeatedly in the labyrinthine streets of Venice. It felt like fate, or perhaps something more magical. They wandered through art galleries, shared gelato by the Grand Canal, and watched sunsets that painted the city gold. Sophia couldn't deny the growing connection. Despite the years between them, Luca made her feel alive in a way she hadn't felt in decades. He saw her not as an older woman but as a soul brimming with untold stories and unfulfilled dreams. One evening, under the glow of a full moon, they found themselves on a gondola, the gentle lapping of water the only sound around them. "Do you believe in love defying all barriers?" Luca asked, his voice soft but certain. Sophia hesitated, her heart pounding. "I used to. But life has a way of convincing you otherwise." Luca leaned closer, his gaze unwavering. "Then let me prove it's still possible." In that moment, Sophia realized love wasn't bound by age, time, or expectations. It was a feeling, pure and transformative. Against all logic and societal norms, she allowed herself to embrace it. Their love story wasn't without challenges, judgment from others, their own insecurities, but they faced them together. Luca taught Sophia to live for the moment, to embrace the unpredictability of life, while she grounded him, sharing her wisdom and experience. Together, they redefined what love could be, proving that sometimes the most unexpected journeys lead to the most beautiful destinations. Let me know if you want any modifications. A new chapter. Sophia and Luca's love felt like a dream, but life is rarely as simple as dreams. Their time in Venice had carved a special place in their hearts, but when Sophia had to return to her everyday life, doubts and fears crept in. "Luca, do you really think this love can last forever?" Sophia asked one evening, standing on the hotel balcony, gazing at the shimmering canals. Luca stepped closer, his voice steady but tender. "Love doesn't obey the rules of age or distance, Sophia. If we're together in spirit, we can face anything." The next day, Sophia left for London. Her heart felt heavy, as if she was leaving behind a part of herself. Luca promised they would meet again soon, but the uncertainty lingered. Distance and challenges. Back in London, Sophia's life quickly became a whirlwind of work, social events, and daily responsibilities. On the surface, everything seemed back to normal, but Luca's absence left an undeniable void. They spoke daily over phone and video calls, exchanging laughter, stories, and their deepest thoughts. Still, Sophia couldn't silence the nagging questions. Asterisk, can this love truly stand the test of time? Is it just a fleeting chapters? Asterisk. Meanwhile, Luca had his own battles to fight. As an artist, he wasn't financially stable, and many in his circle questioned the sincerity of his feelings for a woman twice his age. Why would a young man like you fall for her, they asked. But Luca remained unwavering. Sophia isn't just someone I love. She's someone who inspires me, who makes me want to be better. Reunion. Months passed, and as the Christmas season approached, Luca decided to surprise Sophia. One snowy evening, as Sophia returned home from a long day at work, she found Luca standing outside her door, holding a bouquet of red roses. Her breath caught. Luca, what are you doing here? I told you, didn't I? Love defies all barriers, he said, his smile as radiant as she remembered. Sophia's carefully built walls crumbled in an instant. She embraced him tightly, realizing how much she had missed him. Building a life together. Their reunion wasn't the end of the challenges, but the beginning of building something real. They faced societal judgments, whispers behind their backs, and moments of self-doubt. Sophia's friends questioned her choices, while Luca's peers doubted his intentions. But their love only grew stronger. They traveled the world together, blending her wisdom and his youthful energy. Sophia encouraged Luca to pursue his art, and his career flourished as he painted masterpieces inspired by their journey. In time, they silenced the world's doubts. Their love story became a testament to the idea that love is not bound by age, distance, or conventions. It is about two souls connecting in a way that transcends time. And so, they lived each day as if it were a masterpiece, proving that love, when genuine, knows no limits. Let me know if you'd like further details or adjustments. Here's the continuation, focusing on their romantic kiss. The kiss that changed everything. It happened on their last night in Venice. The city was cloaked in moonlight, its shimmering canals reflecting the stars above. Sophia and Luca had spent the evening wandering through the cobbled streets, their laughter echoing through the quiet corners of the city. As they stood on the iconic Rialto Bridge, the world seemed to fade away. The gentle sound of water lapping against the gondolas below and the cool night breeze wrapped around them like a soft embrace. Luca turned to Sophia, his green eyes searching hers. Do you feel it, Sophia? This connection, it's unlike anything I've ever known. Sophia smiled, her heart racing. I do, Luca. But it scares me. I've built my life with rules and boundaries, and with you, they all fall apart. He stepped closer, the space between them disappearing. Sometimes, falling apart is the only way to truly feel alive. Before she could reply, Luca cupped her face gently, his thumb brushing against her cheek. Time seemed to stand still as he leaned in, his lips brushing against hers with a tenderness that took her breath away. The kiss was soft at first, hesitant, as if they were both afraid to break the spell. But as their emotions surged, it deepened, becoming passionate and all-consuming. Sophia felt herself melting into him, her hands gripping his shoulders as if to anchor herself in the moment. When they finally pulled apart, their foreheads rested together, both of them breathless and overwhelmed. I've never felt this alive, Sophia whispered, her voice trembling. Neither have I, Luca replied, his voice barely above a whisper. And I don't want to spend another moment without you. It was in that kiss that Sophia realized she couldn't deny her feelings any longer. It wasn't just an infatuation, it was love, pure and undeniable. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to believe in the magic of the moment, in the possibility of a love that defied all logic. This kiss marked the turning point in their journey, sealing their bond in a way that words never could. Would you like me to expand on their emotions or how this moment impacted their relationship? What happened after the kiss? An unspoken promise. After their kiss on the Rialto Bridge, Sophia and Luca walked hand in hand through the quiet streets of Venice. Neither spoke much, but the silence wasn't awkward. It was filled with an unspoken understanding. Their hearts had already exchanged promises that their words couldn't fully capture. The next morning, as the sun rose over the Venetian canals, Sophia prepared to leave for London. Luca accompanied her to the train station, his expression a mix of sadness and determination. "Promise me you won't forget this, Sophia," he said, holding her hands tightly. "How could I?" she replied, her voice soft but resolute. "This, what we have, it's unforgettable." "I'll come to you," he vowed. "No matter the distance, I'll find a way to be with you." Back to reality. Returning to London was bittersweet for Sophia. She was back to her polished, orderly life, filled with meetings, deadlines, and social obligations. Yet every quiet moment reminded her of Luca, the warmth of his touch, the intensity of his gaze, and the way he made her feel alive. Luca, too, felt the weight of separation. Back in his small apartment in Florence, he threw himself into his art, pouring his emotions onto canvas. Every stroke of his brush seemed to echo Sophia's name. Days turned into weeks, and though they spoke every evening, the longing to be together grew unbearable. A grand gesture. One snowy December evening, Sophia was hosting a holiday dinner for her colleagues. Her elegant townhouse was filled with the clinking of glasses and polite conversation. Yet her mind wandered to Venice, to Luca. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Excusing herself, Sophia opened it to find Luca standing there, holding a single red rose. Snowflakes clung to his hair, and his green eyes sparkled with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Luca," she gasped, her voice breaking. "I couldn't stay away," he said simply. "Being apart from you feels like I'm missing a piece of myself." Without a second thought, Sophia pulled him into her arms, uncaring of the onlookers behind her. The world blurred, and all that mattered was that he was here. Facing the world together. Their reunion wasn't without its challenges. Sophia's friends and colleagues whispered behind her back, questioning her relationship with someone so much younger. Luca, too, faced judgment from those who couldn't understand their bond. But they stood firm, supporting each other through every challenge. Sophia's wisdom and experience balanced Luca's youthful passion and creativity. They inspired each other to grow, to dream, and to love without fear. Eventually, Luca's art gained recognition, his paintings of Sophia and Venice becoming highly sought after. Sophia, in turn, rediscovered parts of herself she thought she'd lost, her spontaneity, her ability to dream, and her capacity to love. Happily ever after. Years later, as they walked along a beach at sunset, Luca took Sophia's hand and said, "If I had to choose one masterpiece in my life, it wouldn't be my paintings. It would be us." Sophia smiled, leaning into him. "And I'd choose you every time." Their love had faced trials, but it had endured, proving that the heart knows no age, only connection. Together, they built a life that was as extraordinary as their love story. Would you like to add more details about their life or the challenges they overcame?